back here in the backyard. It's a pretty windy day out, so sorry if that affects the audio. But it's actually Monday. I was out here last Thursday. We had a pretty chilly weekend, but it warmed up nicely on Sunday, which was yesterday, and today it's cloudy out, but it's still pretty warm. I'm here at the vegetable garden, and you can see the peas, which I just watered, are coming up pretty nice. Looking forward to those coming out, and you can already see too that my radishes and lettuce are coming up. Nothing else really to report otherwise. The cilantro started to come up spotty. I don't expect it to fill in very well. Like I said, I planted it too early, along with probably the cucumbers. So I imagine I'll have to replant those, but that's no big deal. It's just maybe cost me 50 cents worth of seeds. But what I wanted to show you all was the weekend project that I did. I don't know if you recall from my last videos, this is of course is the pool area, which is sand covered in the external carpet to keep the cats out. But over there I had a corrugated pipe which ran above ground, draining that downspout out into the yard. And that was because before, of course, I just had it, draining here into the yard, and it would just spill out into the grass, and it was no problem. But of course, in the intervening years, I've built Max's sandbox / garden there and his playhouse. And then, of course, the pool normally sits here on a bed of sand. And so what I didn't want to happen was for water to keep running out of there and washing away the sand underneath my pool and making it uneven and perhaps unsafe. So what I did in the short term was I just went to Lowe's and got one of those 10-foot long corrugated pipes and just stuck it on the downspout, and it drained about right there perfectly fine. And that's what worked over the summer, and that's what worked up until now. But basically I decided that it looks like crap, and I wanted something to look a little bit nicer. Plus it took up a lot of room. We were constantly tripping over it, and it really was sort of an obstruction to Max's play area. So I took the weekend and I went ahead and buried it, and look how much more room we have for activities around here. So I'm pretty stoked about it. Unfortunately, it entailed, first of all, moving all of this rock to the side, cutting a hole in the landscape fabric underneath it, and of course digging out the sod here, and digging a hole to bury the bubbler, or the catch, I guess you could say. And then the fun part was, of course, digging a 15-foot long trench in which to bury that corrugated pipe. I managed to do it in a day, and get it buried mostly that day. I had to come back and put the rocks back on it yesterday, which was Sunday, but it was definitely a weekend project. You can see that Max has been out here, and he decided to rope the area off and specifically asked me to put this on the sign. It says "Keep out, nothing to see here." So but yeah, you can see I went ahead and dug out the sod to put it back on, and at least the YouTube universe told me that I needed to when I went and put this back, go ahead and set it a little bit above grade to leave room for settling. And of course that makes perfect sense. So that's what I did, but of course my fear is that it won't settle as much as I want it to, and I'll end up with a high spot there. So we'll see, time will tell. I know it'll be getting a lot more moisture because water will be presumably coming out of that bubbler, or that catch, and getting this area especially wet. I'm not even gonna mess with taking that off with one hand right now. But up here on the downspout, I basically just bought an angle piece here, and then I bought this plastic piece, which is sort of a coupling between this piece and the corrugated pipe. I really don't like the fact that it's offset like that. I don't know why they couldn't just make them so they're centered. I'm sure there's a reason for that, and I think it'll be fine. Unfortunately though, on some YouTube videos I saw, they suggested that sometimes this would, during heavy downpours, this would leak around here. So I guess we'll find out. I hope it doesn't do that. I think what will happen is, you know, the rain water will be coming down this pipe with a good bit of velocity, but then it'll slow down quite a bit at that bend and then won't be moving so fast by the time it gets down to the corrugated pipe. And but if it does start to overflow, my plan is, at least in the short term, short of replacing all of this or reworking this part of it, is just going to be to put some silicone or some caulk or something in that to fill it up and to seal it up to keep the water from coming out. But we'll see how it works. Haven't ran any water down it yet, and we're not really expecting rain anytime soon. But as soon as I get a test of it, either natural or artificial, I will update you all and let you know how it worked out.